Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I do appreciate you all being here today. It is an incredible day in my neck of the woods. I know that there's a lot of people down in the western seaboard of Florida that are definitely not doing well right now. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them for sure, and hopefully we know. Well, actually, there's several people that we know personally that are directly in the eye of that storm. So yeah, it's not going to be fun at all. So thank you all for being part of the show today. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers if you don't mind. Um, if you're watching live, do me a favor and say something in the chat. I'd love to know who's there. I know there's a lot of people who do. And if you're watching this later after live, do me a favor, comment down below. And then while you're at it, check out the different links that are in the description of the video. I do one-on-one consultations. I do business-to-business consultations. I also have a Patreon that is set up where I can take the gloves off and have some fun with the conversations around what's going on in the world. And I'm working on trying to find some information around some stuff I want to see or I want to bring to light for you guys. It's difficult to find some of the information around it, but I stumbled upon something. Actually, I didn't stumble upon it. A friend of mine brought it to my attention, and I'm sitting here trying to find the information around it. It's not exactly easy to find, but anyhow, I may have to crack out my old systems and stuff, but I digress. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor and consider subscribing. Grab the bell that way you know when I go live. I do go live a couple times a week right now. And just for the benefit of everyone here, if you are part of my Patreon, I'm going to have to cut the Wednesday evening shows out for the time being. So there will be a Patreon Monday and Friday, and there will be a regular show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I have too much going on with these things I'm working on. Y'all are going to want to know. And as soon as I'm able to let you know, you will know. The Patreons, for what it's worth, will be the ones who get to know about it first. And it will not disappoint. I'll put it that way. So if you guys would not mind, check out the Patreon. It is only $5 a month. It does help the channel out. So share that out. Help me grow it. I would greatly appreciate it. So anyways, let's roll with the content today. We're going to take a look at some interesting stuff Robert Kiyosaki is starting to warn against again. Please pay attention to what he says. I really highly recommend paying attention to what he talks about. I'm going to cover some of it today. We're also going to take a look at some crazy stuff I've been saying that has been coming down the pipe. But now that I'm going to point it out, it's not gonna be pretty. We'll put it that way. I'm gonna take a look at some stuff with housing because it does tie into some of the things we're gonna discuss today. But before we do that, we're gonna check on the price of Bitcoin, which is up right now on the day at least. So is the Dow, which is also very interesting because it took a nasty tumble. Everyone's like, "Oh, Bitcoin took a nasty tumble." No, Bitcoin's been kind of consolidating. The Dow has been significantly dropping over the past several weeks. Okay, this is the day charts, so each candle is a day. Over the past several weeks, Bitcoin's been kind of consolidating, whereas the regular stock market has been falling drastically. All right, and you got the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 that are doing the same thing. Gold looks like it's trying to take itself back up, same with silver. But you got to remember, these are manipulated numbers. The true values of gold and silver is unknown. The reason I say it's unknown because the COMEX is trading derivatives. It's go listen to Bix Weir. Go check out the Road to Ruta, and listen to what he has to say about gold and silver. It is whoops, wrong button. I don't even know what I pushed. So, anyways, sorry about that. Gold and silver. Divvy's being hammered. There's a lot of reasons that could be. I'm not going to speculate, but it is on sale for what it's worth. It is on sale. It's a nice buying opportunity. So, and then look at Matic. Matic is also looks like it's attempting to consolidate over here as well. So fun stuff for sure. Axie is over the past several days, several weeks. It looks like it's trying to consolidate as well. We might be poised for a run up in some of these coins, guys and gals. You know what is up though? The 30-year fixed mortgage rate. I saw an article yesterday where this actually pumped over 7%. This is a delayed chart. I don't know how to force it to update. It updates once or twice a week. So yeah, not fun. Not fun at all for what it's worth. All right, cool. So just kind of run over those with you guys and gals. It's gonna get very rough very soon, and I'm sorry that it is. It is what it is. What are we gonna do about it? You get ready. That's how you get ready. Okay, you prepare yourself. As Ninja says, economic Ninja says, be prepared and not scared. Right? The economics of this entire economy is completely different right now. It's up on end. It's on its head. Whatever you want to call it. It is not operating in the way it is supposed to, according to the regular rules, whatever you want to call it. We are in a time where there's a tremendous amount of fraud. We are in a time where we are heading into some very, very, very difficult frustrations very soon. And I just want to point out a couple of things for everyone here. What I'm going to cover here with Robert Kiyosaki, I don't disagree with what he's saying. There's a lot of things that you need to pay attention to that he says, and well, quite frankly, what I say too, because I say some of the same stuff that he is. I've been saying some of the stuff he's now coming out and saying. So maybe, maybe he's listening to the shows. I don't know, Robert. If you're listening to the shows, I'd love to have you on, man. Anyhow, biggest crash in the world history. Robert Kiyosaki issues another dire warning and now avoids anything that can be printed. Here are 3 hard assets he likes instead. One of them is an interesting one for sure. Obviously, precious metals is one that he really, really gets into. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies is another one. And then food, all right? Food. You can't eat Bitcoin, you can't eat gold and silver. It's interesting that he's having a prepper's mindset. The markets sure look ugly these days. The S&P 500 is down 23% year to date. For the tech and laden Nasdaq Composite, the losses for the 2022 is widened to an even more painful 31%. Rich Dad Poor Dad, author Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. It is a life-changing mentality on how you view the economy, how you view money, how you view assets versus liabilities. It's a real, true understanding of how. It's a very simple understanding too. It puts it so simple that even like my kids, they get it. He has games, by the way. I think it's called Cash Flow. Cash Flow is the game. If you don't know what that is, I highly recommend you go buy that game and play it with your spouse or your kids or your friends, family, whatever. It is definitely worth that. It'll teach you something. It'll teach you an interesting things about who you are and how you operate when it comes to money. I highly recommend it. There is a kids version of it, and we have that one. The kids play that one. It is fantastic. It is part of their education, if you will. Since we home educate, that is definitely something that we look into because it's not taught in the schools. You don't learn anything about money, economics, finance, or anything like that. But that game is pretty fascinating to watch the kids' mindsets run. You'll hear me talk about my son and what he's doing. It's pretty cool. Throw it in the chat if you don't mind. What are you guys and gals drinking today? This is a black coffee from Guatemala, so I am definitely enjoying that one. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, so anyway, Rich Dad Poor Dad Robert Kiyosaki, who previously sounded the alarm, stresses just how badly this downturn could turn out to be. This is going to be the biggest crash in the world history. We've never had this much debt pumped up, he says in a Kitco News interview earlier this month. Given that Kiyosaki has previously tweeted that crashes are the biggest times to get rich, one might think it's time to look for bargains and the beaten down stock market. That's not what Kiyosaki's doing right now, and neither am I. Just not financial advice. Y'all do whatever you want, but if I were you, I'd stay as far from the stock market as you possibly could. Wanted to bring this particular article up because, and Robert saying stuff like this, I have been saying this. Crypto will be the exit strategy. There will be those who get out early will be able to get their hands on gold and silver and physically hold it. Okay. But the rest of everybody else will not be able to. They're not going to go into dollars, okay? They will temporarily, which will cause a hyperinflationary moment because they've got to go into dollars, right? They got to cash out somehow, right? And when they realize that there's no value in the dollars, that they can't actually use them to buy anything. Oh, I don't know, maybe because the Federal Reserve is going to launch a CBDC and the actual US dollars are going to be worthless. Literally. I mean, the Bank of England's already saying that the 20 denomination, the 50 denominations at the end of this month will no longer be legal tender. Very interesting. Just very interesting. Anyhow. Oh, let's see. Anything that can be printed, like a stock certificate, a bond, or a dollar. I don't want it, he says. Neither do I. And on this show, I do not recommend that for anybody either, right? I just want everyone to know this isn't financial, legal, or tax advice. Do your own research. Hopefully, this is part of it. For my listeners, my regulars, especially my patrons, guys, gals, please be careful if you're playing in the stock market. Just be careful. Anyhow, he's into precious metals. Precious metals, particularly gold and silver, have been a particular hedge against inflation and uncertainties. I say that all the time. It's almost like he's listening to my show. I kid myself. Anyhow, they can't be printed out of thin air like fiat. Actually, from a scientific perspective, if you electrify mercury at the right point, the right frequency, it kind of turns into gold, but that's a discussion for a different day. Silver cannot be printed. Silver has two isotopes, whereas gold has only one. Gold is gold because gold is gold. It can be used for some industrial purposes, but not many. Silver can be used for all kinds of things. Just be aware of that. Anyways, I digress. So, they cannot be printed out of thin air, etc., etc. When the host asked Kiyosaki if he was adding anything to his portfolio, his response was, "I'm buying more gold and silver." To be sure, precious metals aren't immune to sell-off, or that's been going on this year. The price of gold is actually down 9% in 2022, which is kind of interesting. And while silver is fallen nearly 20%, which is also interesting, considering the fact that the S&P 500 is 23% and the Nasdaq is down 31%. Still less, just saying. Anyhow, excuse me. Where was I at? Oh yeah, silver to stay at $20 for 3 to 5 years, then climb to $100 to $500. He says is a recent tweet. In a recent tweet, adding that everyone can afford silver and accumulate silver. Now, if you don't do it now, you won't be able to buy any silver or gold. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. There's a significantly limited supply, whereas cryptocurrencies are different. Whereas you can buy a Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million. If you go and get a whole coin, you will be very, 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 very big up there. As far as the 1% of the world, it will be a very big wealth transfer. Anyhow, for gold, he points to his fellow investing guru, Jim Rickards, which Jim Rickards is a very smart person when it comes to certain things. Pay attention to what he says when it comes to the overall market economy, because he was definitely. You guys ever watched the Big Short? His character is played by Brad Pitt, I think. Anyhow, Jim Rickards, very interesting person when it came to the last crash. Very interesting. Anyhow, they think that it's going to hit $15,000 an ounce for gold. I think I think that the silver will end up hitting, 1,000 plus. Personally, 5,000 plus, I guess, somewhere in the ballpark. I don't like giving numbers like that, but if I had to guess, whenever all this crap breaks and people are going to be after it, silver will eventually go to priceless because people will be. I think Cliff High is right. I think people will be trying to figure out how to use sound frequencies to pull silver out of the ground, out of the landfills and things like that. It's going to be very interesting as we get into the new technology here shortly. But yeah, he says that he buys gold and silver for one reason, because if push comes to shove, I can spend it anywhere in the world, which is very, very true. He really, really can. And that is a big part of why you get it. You don't go get the 10,000 ounce bar of silver. I mean, what are you going to do with that, right? If you want to do that, go ahead, but go look for the ounces and stuff like that. Good luck finding that, though. Anyhow, some say that Bitcoin is the new gold, while Kiyosaki is a self-proclaimed gold bug. He also likes the world's largest cryptocurrency. Of course, Bitcoin is extremely volatile, so Kiyosaki shares the story of how he got on board during one of the pullbacks. When Bitcoin the first time hit $20,000, I watched it and traced back down, he says. So I came back to hit $6,000. So I knew it was picking up momentum, as a trader would say. And when it hit $6,000, I bought 60. Interesting. So I'm in the money, as they call it, as a trading term. So he's in the money. So, as we know now, Bitcoin went on a roller coaster ride, hitting a high of 68,990 last November. Today, Bitcoin trades at nearly $19,000 a piece, a staggering 72 pullback. I guess that's percent from its peak, but still well above Kiyosaki's entry point. That's the other thing, guys and gals. You buy it low and hold on to it. Looking ahead, he says he's optimistic. Blockchain is ready to buy the dip again if the downturn continues. This is funny. He says if it goes down to $1,000, I'm backing the truck up. Backing up the truck. Okay, look. I say this often. The lows that you see in Bitcoin will never be reached again, because it is a deflationary currency. It is a deflationary asset. It will never reach those numbers again. So if it hit $6,000 and that's where he got in, you're not going to see that number again. I think what was the next thing? It did drop down to like what, $10,000 or whatever with the next one. Now it's the lowest here has been in the 17s. It's not gonna see these numbers again. Okay, it hasn't historically, and it's not going to going forward. It is a deflationary currency. The next thing is food. Food prices have been growing amid supply shortages around the world, and that's an area investors might want to pay attention to. Not just from an investor standpoint, but you can't eat the other stuff. Put it that way. Inflation is about to take off. Best investments are cans of tuna and baked beans, because it lasts forever on the shelf, literally years. Kiyosaki tweeted in June explaining that you can't eat gold, silver, or Bitcoin, but you can eat tuna and beans. It's true. And right now he tells Kitco he's investing in livestock as well. So if you know how to take care of livestock, you know how to take care of animals, if you know how to hunt, you know how to clean an animal, process an animal, things like that, seriously consider these types of things. Okay. So all of that I wanted to point out. Guess what? The stock market losses wipe out $9 trillion of Americans' wealth. $9 trillion. American holdings of corporate equities and mutual fund shares fell to $33 trillion at the end of the second quarter, down from $42 trillion at the start of the year. Crazy stuff, isn't it? With major market indexes falling further since July, experts say losses from financial markets could total $9.5 trillion to $10 trillion. Economists say the drops could add pressure to Americans' balance sheets, possibly hurting spending. No kidding. You don't know. You don't say so. When that kind of fall in the market starts happening, that's trillions of dollars we're talking about. Someone's going to be left holding the bag. Is it going to be you? It's going to be the people you know and love who have 401ks, IRAs, whatever, different retirement accounts, mutual funds. You know, Dave Ramsey talks an awful lot about mutual funds and how they're fantastic and how gold and silver is a bad investment. Laughs at the thought of Bitcoin. Hilarious. It's funny. I don't necessarily disagree with some of the. I actually really, excuse me. I actually really disagree with what Dave Ramsey talks about. I'm very much so more of a Robert Kiyosaki kind of philosophy. Just to put it into perspective, people need someone like Dave Ramsey. They do. They need a system to stay out of debt. They need a system to follow. People like myself like to create my own system, create my own path, whatever you want to call it. I want to control that mechanisms and create those true assets to pay for the liabilities, et cetera, et cetera. That kind of mentality, right? People are losing money in the stock market because they're listening to Ramsey. They're listening all kinds of things. Stay in the market, stay in the mutual funds, stay in the equities, stay in the blah, 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 blah. Keep putting it in there. Historically, it crashes a little bit, but it always runs up. Da, 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 da. 2008, people lost their entire life savings. People who should be retired right now aren't retired because they lost it all in 2008, and they had no control over that. Housing has been a big part of 2008. It was also a big part of 2000, and it was also prior to that. Guys and gals, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. I'm telling you, people will run to cryptocurrency. The Federal Reserve is already running to cryptocurrency. The IMF is already running to cryptocurrency. They're going to build their own, though, and they require that everyone use that because the old system is collapsed. They're trying to get people to use it. Why in the world would any of us ever use their system for anything if we have a new system that is for the people, by the people, and of the people kind of thing? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Litecoin, the new stock market, as I like to call it, like the Ethereums and the Polygons of the world, the Matic, whatever. I'm telling y'all, already this year, 9 trillion has been removed from the market. How big is the overall market? I don't actually know that question. What's the stock market's? Is it close to quadrillion? I don't know. The bond market is more than a quadrillion. It is several quadrillion. The bond market is being destroyed. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you really should consider doing that. If you're not on Twitter, and you want to just join just to follow me, that's fine. Great. But stuff like this is kind of important to pay attention to. This hitting 4% is a very, very big problem. Okay? A very big problem. Look, yuan, Chinese yuan is now at its worst level since 2008. China's debt bomb is ticking faster and further. Yuan devaluation seems unavoidable. These are some of the things that I talk about on here. I highly recommend you give me a follow there. Pay attention to what I post in that, because that's what I do between shows. I have fun sharing stuff like that. And if you're part of the Patreon, there is a private Patreon Telegram channel. I highly recommend that if you are part of the Patreon, join that Telegram channel. Lots of information gets shared there, but that is also where I post different links for the shows and whatnot as well. So when the market falls as it is now, where is that money going to go? You have an opportunity now to prepare yourself to be on the receiving end of those funds if you can obtain crypto, because that's where it's going to end up going. People aren't going to trust CBDCs. They're going to look into crypto. The vast majority of it's going to go into Bitcoin. A lot of it's going to go into Litecoin. A lot of it's going to go to Ethereum, because they're the first movers. They're the big ones. They're going to go look at what's the top 10. When this happens, what the top 10 are, or top 20, I don't know, maybe. I can't believe Doge is number 10. I still can't believe that. It's maddening. It's interesting that 3 and 4 is USDT and USDC. And then Binance. XRP has been in the news a lot lately. If you don't know what's going on with them, I don't know. It's a banker's coin. Do what you want. Polygon's 13. What's the top 20? 21. Litecoin's 21. We'll see what happens, guys and gals. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So, all of this stuff going on, housing prices plunge in 77% of the U.S. metro areas. The turn, quote unquote, here, has finally happened. I've been telling y'all the market's going to collapse. Housing is part of it. Housing is going to be a major part of it, mainly because it is the bedrock of the economy. And unfortunately, that is where it is. That is the way it is. On August 22nd, mortgage rates hit 6.62%. They're now above 7%. The highest number in 2 decades, and twice the level of the close at the close of 2021. According to the American Enterprise Institute Housing Center, prices nationwide, measured month over month, fell for the first time in August. This is months ago, last month. Okay, it's almost October now, I guess. No, yeah, it's almost October. Wow. Anyhow, the turn has finally happened based on actual closings. Yeah, actual closings. Homes aren't closing. We talked about this yesterday or in the Patreon. I don't know. We talked about this in the last show, where we're starting to see things change. People are not closing. They're losing their deposits because they get to the table or they get into the process and go, yeah, 6.5%. 6.5% on a $400,000 home, $450,000, $500,000 home, which is what is average in our area right here. $600,000 home. 7% on that is $4,500. After taxes, most people don't even get a single paycheck that big. Most. How in the crap are they going to be able to afford a home with 50% of their paycheck average? They're not. Now, this is in Europe, but what happens in Europe happens here. Mortgage rates, if we can't afford higher payments, we lose our home. Yeah. We just won a home, a 38-year-old told BBC Living our live program. He fears monthly mortgage repayments will become unaffordable to him just when he wanted to buy his own place. I can't find anywhere I can afford a mortgage in London or Essex because I don't earn enough. No. If I was in a couple, it would probably be a different story. No. This is going to be something across the globe. This is a global problem. This isn't just in the US this time. This is a global problem because what they did in 2008, after everything collapsed, Lehman Brothers, all that kind of crap happened, all that kind of stuff. They just renamed everything, repackaged it, and then said, this really worked really well. We made a lot of money off of this collapse. So we are going to do it globally. IMF, WEF, all these other places that they come to the banking and everything like that. Yeah, it's going to get nasty, guys and gals. I hope you're ready. Are you ready? Because if you're not ready, you need to be getting ready. You need to be preparing for this downturn. You need to be preparing your hearts, your family, etc. There's a lot of things going to happen. It's going to happen quickly, very quickly. You guys have had an amazing conversation. It looks like I love it. Do me a favor, share the video out with your friends and family. Get it out there. People need to hear this stuff. That's why I do it. If I didn't feel like people didn't need to hear this, I wouldn't be doing this. Just going to be honest. Really wouldn't. All right, I'm going to run through and say hey to everyone, and then I got to get off and over into a meeting I am late for. What's going on, Tom? How you doing, brother? Thanks for being part of the show. I love it when you guys and gals are here every single day. Gloria, thanks for being here. I love it. It is fantastic. Clint Westwood in the house. What's up, brother? Thanks for being part of the show. It is fantastic to see you, and hopefully we can see each other here soon. It's been a while. It's been too long. Daddy-o, what's up? How's it going? Appreciate you being part of the show. We've got Manny in the house. How is it going? Thanks for being here, man. It is a beautiful day for sure. Who else we got here? Busy Mountain, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Really do appreciate it. John Gibson, what's up, brother? Hello, everyone, and keep up the great work, Papa Joe. I'm trying, man. It's just getting crazy busy. I love it, though. Who else we got here? We got Steven in the house. What's up, brother? How are you today? Appreciate you being here. Who else we got here? Man, you are drinking water. And yes, Manny, cash flow for kids, cash flow, and cash flow 101. I think so. Yes, those are fantastic, fantastic things. Who else do we have here today? Just running through real quick. You guys having a fantastic conversation. I love it. That's why I have the live chat. You guys talk, guys and gals. Y'all have fun. We've got where is it? And Bitcoin Bulls here. Sorry, when y'all keep commenting, it keeps jumping. Sorry. What's going on, man? Hopefully you are doing well. I do appreciate you being here. Who else is here today? I know I saw some other folks. Trinidad, what's up? Thanks for being here, man. It is a beautiful day for sure. Hopefully y'all are having a great time where you are. Let's see, who else do we have here today? All right. That I think covers everyone. Y'all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Just a reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be regular shows. Mondays and Fridays will be Patreons. In the afternoon. So y'all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Y'all be blessed, and I will see you all on Friday. Take it easy. Bye.